What's up guys? So earlier today on Twitter, I saw that the spreadsheet was leaked. Dual archetypes, all of the possibilities that we know so far. So let's get into it and let's analyze this a little bit.
Keep staring at it and you might go blind. I be moving clean, I don't even try. All I see is bad.
And there's honestly so much information, so I'm gonna break it up into like between 3 and 5 videos. So in this video, we're gonna cover all of the point guards and we'll probably look at the shooting guard possibilities also, just to kind of get a first glance at what might be the best builds if you're building a guard. If you look at the spreadsheet here, you actually can choose a dual archetype, which would be like passing and ball handling, which is like a playmaker, and a secondary archetype, which would be shot creating. And then you would have one Hall of Fame badge, which would be ankle breaker, because those two, I guess, have that badge in common. And then the rest of your badges you would have as your main badges: dimer, gold, pick and roll, maestro, lob city passer, flashy passer. You would have one Hall of Fame badge, 10 gold badges, 4 silver badges, 5 bronze badges, for a total of 20 badges. Now what if you built a pure archetype? So there's dual archetypes and pure archetypes, so you could choose a primary skill of passing and ball handling and a secondary skill of passing and ball handling, which would boost that skill, would make you really good at that skill, but you would not be as good at the other skills. But you would get 5 Hall of Fame badges, which are dimer, ankle breaker, pick and roll, maestro, lob city passer, and flashy passer, same as last year. But instead of 10 gold badges, you would have 5 gold badges, 3 silver badges, and 6 bronze badges, for a total of 19 badges. Now I don't know if having 20 badges is better than 19 badges with 10 being gold and 1 Hall of Fame, or would it be better to have 5 Hall of Fame, 5 gold? I'm not sure yet, but we're just breaking it down right now. So I'm gonna leave a link to this article in the description of this video so you guys can check out the full list, but I'm gonna break it down just point guards. So you can do, so far we know you can do a playmaker as a primary build, and then the secondary build can be either playmaking, shot creating, 3-point shooting, driving and finishing, which is like a slasher, defending, which is like a lockdown of 2K17, rebounding, which is like a glass cleaner, and post scoring, which is like a post score. And then if you look on the right side, they have different amount of badges. So if we just look at the amount of badges, the highest point guard or shooting guard badge totals is 26 badges. 2 of these builds have 26 badges. So if you're a shot creating and rebounding point guard, you can have 8 gold badges, 6 silver badges, 12 bronze badges, for a total of 26 total badges. You can also make a point guard who's a driving and finishing, which is like a slasher, and secondary is 3-point shooting like a sharpshooter, and you will have 8 gold badges, 6 silver badges, 12 bronze badges, for a total of 26 badges. So if we're looking at just total amount of badges, those 2 would be the best builds that I would recommend, are probably going to be good in 2K18. Now this is just my prediction. We don't know what all of the badges are. We only get to see the 5 main badges for the mix of archetype or the pure archetype. And also, just because a build has 26 badges, and it could be a little bit better than a build that has like 23 or 22 badges, but if the build with 26 badges is like a driving and finishing with a secondary of 3-point shooting, and that does not fit your playstyle, you might do worse with that build instead of picking a build that you're more comfortable with. For example, a slasher that has playmaking capabilities, it has only 23 badges instead of 26 badges, but you might do better with it. So also think about your playstyle. How do you like to play? In 2K17, if you liked, for example, to have good control of the ball so you can pass and you can break ankles and stuff, and that's the way you like to play, maybe you want to consider having that as your main archetype and then mixing in a secondary archetype. For example, like a slasher, if you do like to slash but you want to have the main ball handling, just play around with it and see. You can take a look at this whole list. A dual archetype might be better if you want to be able to do multiple things at a decent level, but a pure archetype might be the best if you want to do that one thing like in 2K17 really well. And there's going to be at least 180 different archetype possibilities, mixing and matching all of these primary and secondary skills, primary and secondary archetypes, I should say. So really, there's going to be much more diversity at the park than there was last year, or in any game mode, because last year, if you're a playmaker, you're breaking ankle. If you're a sharpshooter, you're shooting. You're not really dribbling that much. You could dribble, but it's not that good. But this year, if you picked playmaker that can also shoot threes, you're gonna do much better in those 2 categories, but maybe less in other categories. So just pick the things that you want to thrive at, make that your main and secondary archetype, and you'll probably do better, even though you might have a little bit less badges, But I'm gonna play around with a lot of these builds, and I'll get you guys the best build, what I think is the best build, just so you guys don't have to grind out your players and make mistakes. I'm gonna figure these best builds out. And from my analysis, it really looks like to me that if you pick a primary and a secondary archetype that have more related together, you're gonna probably have more chances to have Hall of Fame badges and gold badges. For example, if you mix passing and ball handling first archetype with a secondary archetype of shot creating, you're gonna have probably better meshing than if you're gonna pick a lockdown point guard with slashing capability. From what it looks like, if there's shared badges that like a shot creator had an ankle breaker and a playmaker had an ankle breaker, you're probably gonna have that badge Hall of Fame is what it looks like. But I'm gonna keep digging deeper into this, and I'm gonna try to figure out what the best builds are. And as the actual, not just the number of badges, as all of the badges are released, what builds will have what badges, I'll get that to you guys as fast as possible. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them all as fast as I can. Thank you for the support. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for post notifications, because I'm going to be bringing you guys videos every single day. So love you all, and I'll catch you guys in that next video.